that 3/18 is not in its simplest form, meaning you can reduce. So we're going to divide each of these by 3. And Matthew, what do you get for your answer? Yep. Is that more than 1? No, it isn't. So that's in its simplest form. Number 2 is 4/6. Nia, what goes into both 4 and 6? No, 2. And so what do you get for your final answer? Yep. And that's not more than 1, right? Okay, number 3. Okay, so I'm going to start with taking a 6 out of both of them. Okay. And Kai, when I take a 6 out, what do I have? 60 divided by 6 is not 30. 10. Is that in its simplest form, Kai? What goes into both 2 and 10? 2 again. So what do you get for your final answer? Yep. And that is not more than 1. Remember, if it's going to be more than 1 if the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So look at number 4. 14 over 28. What goes into both 14 and 28, Lainey? 14 does. Everybody know that? If you didn't, that is the easiest, fastest thing to do. That's the greatest common factor to both of them. And you get what, Lainey? Yeah, no. What's 28 divided by 14? Isn't it 2? How many of you got 1/2? Raise your hand if you got 1/2. Good. Caden, Caden, you got it too? Good. All right, you guys do 4 or 5. 4. And what do you get when you take 4 out of each one of those? Uh, there's where you made your mistake. What's 36 divided by 4? There you go. Now that's simplified, right? Now, how many of you on the next one just went ahead and marked off those zeros? Because 10 goes into both of them, right? And your final answer would just be 4/5. Okay? Remember, if we want to know if these two are equal, the easiest way to do it is just to see if they, if you take 3 times 2, you get 6, correct? Is 2 times 2 11? No. Remember, 2 over 2 is 1. Here's another easy way to do it. Make the heart. 3 times 11 is 33. 8 times 6 is 48. Those are not equal, so they are not equivalent. Not equivalent. Does that seem familiar to you? All right, look at number 8. It says 22 over 32 and 11 over 16. I don't want to multiply really big numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a pattern here. 22 divided by what would be 11? Okay, sorry. I skipped some. This is where I started skipping some. This is number 9. Okay. So 22 divided by 2, right, is 11. And is 32 divided... Somebody's got their mic on. 32 divided by 2, is that 16? It sure is. So yes, these are equivalent. Okay, my next one is the story problem, number 11 on your page. Okay, it says you see 58 birds, and it says while on a bird watching tour, which I don't know how many people do that anymore, but of those birds you see 12 hawks. Write and simplify the fraction of hawks you see. Well, how many hawks were there? Okay. Out of how many birds did you see, Berkeley? Yep. So go ahead and reduce that one, you guys. So divide this by 2 and this by 2. I'll help you out. You get 6 on the numerator. What's 58 divided by 2? You shouldn't have to figure that out. That should be mental. If you bump 58 to 60, 60 divided by 2 is 30, isn't it? And then it would be 1 less than that. So how many of you got 29 on that one? Solve the equation, check the answers. This, I think, is number 12. Okay. How many solutions does an equation have, Sam? An equation only has one solution. Okay, these should be pretty easy for you guys. Remember, you put your wall up. There's nothing you can simplify. D is being divided by 12. What do we do to undo division, Sam? We're going to multiply both sides by 12, right? I was calling on you, and I'm like, wait, I know he was just there. Okay, so D is equal to a negative times a positive is a negative. 12 times 4 is... Yep. How do we know if we're right? We're going to check them. Plug it right back in there. Negative 48 divided by 12. Caden, what's negative 48 divided by 12? Is that what we wanted? Yep, good. So on number 11, they are multiplying by 1/8. So we are going to divide both sides by 1/8, correct? And I'm going to put it off to the side here, divided by 1/8. These cancel out, leaving me with n is equal to, how do I do 5 divided by 1/8? How do I do that, Nevaeh? So it's 5 over 1 times what? Yep. And what do you get, Nevaeh? Yep. And we're going to check it by plugging it right in there. 1/8 times 40 over 1, because remember, 40 is rational, so it can be written as a fraction. 8 goes into 45 times, and we get the answer of 5. Is that what we wanted? Yep. What do we do to solve this one, Marissa? Huh? Very good. These cancel out, and we're left with A is equal to negative divided by positive is negative. What is 54 divided by 6, Landon? Get A equals negative 9. How do we know if we're right? We check it. And remember, when it's A equals negative 9, that's one solution. An inequality is where you have an infinite number of solutions. So 6 times negative 9 is what, Gabby? So we get negative 54. Is that what we wanted? Sure is. Number 13 is your number 17. And it says 2.7 equals negative 0.9y. We're going to put our wall up. They're multiplying by negative 0.9, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 0.9. And you guys try and get into the habit of doing this. Do you see how in your denominator has a decimal point right here, right? Well, we can't divide by a decimal, so just shift that one over 1. Well, if I shift that one over 1, I have to shift the numerator's decimal over 1 as well. So it's really just going to be 27 divided by -9. So we get -3 equals y. Is that the same as writing y equals -3? Yep, sure is. So we check it, we put it back in there. We take -0.9 times -3. A negative times a negative is a positive. Good. 9 times 3 is 27, right? And then we have to move this decimal point back one place. So it goes from here, so I get 2.7. Is that what I wanted? Yep. All right, number 4. My number 14 is the book's number 20. Okay, we are trying to find the price of one ticket. So we're going to let P equal the price of one ticket. You and 3 friends spend $35. So what's the total of your movie tickets? How much did it cost you guys? Matthew? Yep. Kai, how many people went to the movies? 4 people. So we are going to write 4. Well, if each one spent $5, wouldn't you take 4 times 5? If it was $3, you'd take 4 times 3. Now it's P dollars per ticket. So we're going to take 4 times P equals 35. And put your wall up. Divide both sides by 4, and I'm going to want you guys to go ahead and do that off to the side and tell me what the price is per one ticket. So the price per ticket is going to be $8.75 per ticket.